想救他，就努力变强大，他所有希望都寄托在你身上。
I'm just steps away from achieving my dream of 1,000 subscribers. Your support means the world to me. No matter how difficult the trial, one must eventually overcome it. The moment Xiaoyan dashed out of the dream-ensnaring heavenly mist, he immediately found himself confronted by thousands upon thousands of flame slaves. Continuing from the previous scene, the person dragged out by the Hallmaster of the Hall of Souls was clearly Xiaoyan. However, he now existed only as a soul form. Yana, hearing Xiaoyan's voice, Xiaojan's soul trembled. He lifted his head, disbelief filling his eyes as he stared at the familiar youthful figure. Xiaoyan, by making an enemy of my Hun clan, your ending can only be one thing: your family shattered, your home destroyed. A cold and indifferent smile surfaced on the Hallmaster's face. Then he slowly placed his palm atop Xiaojan's head and said flatly, "Since you're about to be captured anyway, he no longer has any value in existing." Stop. Facing Xiaoyan's furious roar, the Hallmaster merely let out a chilling scoff. His hand tightened. Xiaojan's soul was crushed instantly, shattering into countless motes of light that faded into the void. Xiaoyan stared blankly at the scattering soul fragments, his body trembling violently. From the depths of his heart, a violent killing intent erupted uncontrollably. His eyes locked onto the Hallmaster, and he charged forward with explosive fury. But at that very moment, his body suddenly froze. Countless milky white flames burst out from the pores of his body, purifying demonic lotus flame. The excruciating pain surging from within allowed Xiaoyan to regain a sliver of clarity. He quickly lifted his head, only to discover that the three figures of the Hallmaster from moments earlier had completely vanished. Damn it, I've been tricked. Everything had been an illusion, created to provoke emotional chaos. The realization stunned Xiaoyan, but in the next instant he fully understood the strangeness of the situation. Though the purifying demonic lotus flame was terrifying, without someone controlling it, burning him to death would not be so easy. Gritting his teeth, Xiaoyan rapidly shifted his hand seals. The newly fused heavenly flame formed from the 5 heavenly flames within his body was circulated to the extreme, surging madly through every inch of his body. The milky white flames battled against it for a moment before slowly retreating bit by bit. No wonder they call it the purifying demonic lotus flame. These illusions are on par with those created by the Bodhi ancient tree. Wiping cold sweat from his brow, Xiaoyan focused his mind. The heavenly flames within him surged into his eyes. In an instant, the world before him changed. The sea of milky white fire vanished, replaced by a dense mist spanning several dozen meters. Within the mist, several dozen people were moving aimlessly. Their expressions twisted differently. Some were already engulfed by the milky white flame. After agonized screams, they crumbled to ash. Xiaoyan quickly scanned the mist and immediately understood. The illusions had been caused by this strange fog. Teacher. At this moment, Yao Lao wore a pained expression. Faint motes of white flame were flickering across his body, clearly the beginning signs of being burned by the purifying demonic lotus flame. Seeing the flames rising on Yao Lao's body, Xiaoyan's heart tightened. He knew better than anyone how difficult these flames were to dispel once they seeped into the body. If not for possessing 5 heavenly flames, he would have been gravely wounded the instant the purifying demonic lotus flame erupted. Though Yao Lao was a Dosheng without a heavenly flame to protect him, he would suffer severe damage once the demonic flame invaded his body. Shocked and alarmed, Xiaoyan's figure flashed and appeared beside Yao Lao. He struck a heavy palm onto Yao Lao's back while letting out a deep shout infused with soul fluctuation. Yao Lao's complexion instantly turned pale and his tightly shut eyes snapped open. He looked at Xiaoyan, panting heavily. After a moment, he wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and said, "The purifying demonic lotus flame is truly terrifying. If you hadn't awakened me in time, my fate would have been far from pleasant." Xiaoyan let out a bitter smile and swept his gaze around. "The mist here is extremely strange. We should leave this area first. How are Ancestor Huoyun and the others?" Yao Lao asked anxiously, his brows tightly furrowed. "I just checked, their traces aren't anywhere within this region. Zhana and the others aren't here either." Xiaoyan shook his head, thought for a moment, then said, "They're likely with Jun and Ziyan. Their group is powerful, escaping the illusion shouldn't be difficult. Let's go." After breaking free from the illusion, Xiaoyan and Yao Lao did not dare linger. A few minutes later, they rushed out of the mist-covered region. Passing through the veil of fog, their bodies suddenly felt lighter. They turned back to look at the distorted space behind them and finally let out a sigh of relief. "Brother Xiaoyan, Just as they stepped out of the mist, a familiar voice rang out from ahead. Xiaoyan looked up to see a massive stone platform floating in midair, and at the end of the platform stood a huge white gate. Upon it, Xun'er and her group were joyfully waving at them. Seeing Xun'er and Ziyan Xiaoyan and Yao Lao exchanged a glance. Flames flickered within their eyes as they probed their surroundings. The scene before them remained unchanged. It's not an illusion. Confirming this, Xiaoyan finally relaxed. Are you all right? Xun'er and the others quickly approached. She spoke with a hint of amazement in her voice. To think that the purifying demonic lotus flame has already mastered the dream-ensnaring heavenly mist. It seems that over the past 1,000 years, its strength has increased tremendously. Dream-ensnaring heavenly mist. Xiaoyan blinked in surprise. It's a mist capable of trapping people in illusions forever. It is the ultimate technique of the purifying demonic lotus saint. Once it caused the people of an entire city to experience what they believed to be hundreds of years of life. When the mist dissipated, they discovered those centuries had been nothing more than a dream. Gunanhai explained with a faint smile, then sighed. 1,000 years ago, the purifying demonic lotus flame could not use this technique. This journey will indeed be perilous. Where are the others? Xiaoyan looked around the vast plaza, noticing that aside from their group, no one else was present. This space belongs to the purifying demonic lotus flame. Once we enter, we fall under its complete control. Where it chooses to send us depends entirely on its will, Xun'er explained patiently. Beside her, Gunanhai stared intently at the tightly shut white gate. According to the records from our ancestors, it was the same the last time. If we follow the path behind that door, we will eventually meet the purifying demonic lotus flame. But beyond that gate lie endless obstacles. If we want to meet its true body, we must break through them. However, since this is the territory of the demonic lotus flame, even we must abide by its rules until the moment we encounter it. His words had barely finished when the surrounding space suddenly trembled violently. An overwhelming wave of heat surged from all directions. As space twisted, more and more cracks abruptly tore open. From within those rifts, countless human-shaped figures wreathed in milky white flames surged out like a tidal wave. In an instant, the sky above the plaza was filled with these flame-born beings. Careful, their powerhouses refined by the purifying demonic lotus flame. Their equivalent to a type of special puppet. The moment Gunanhai finished speaking, the countless flame slaves let out earth-shaking roars and charged toward Xiaoyan's group like a flood. The scene was overwhelmingly spectacular. Facing such an overwhelming assault, Xiaoyan's group immediately launched their counterattacks. Wave after wave of flame slaves were shattered. Yet no matter how many were destroyed, even more continued pouring out from the spatial fissures. Killing them like this is useless. We must break through, Gunanhai said in a deep voice. Hearing this, Xiaoyan frowned slightly, pondered briefly, then nodded decisively. Go.